Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new today, my name is Andy. I am a family nurse practitioner. We are starting a new series called Black History in Nursing, and we are going to take you guys through a series of great, awesome black nurses that paved the way for all of us to be here today. I believe it's going to be an awesome series. Our very first guest today is Mary Seacole. Roll the camera. So Mary Seacole was born in the Caribbean of Jamaica sometime in 1805. Honestly, nobody really knows her age because Mary played a little bit, with the people back then. She tricked the census like twice. She made herself younger, like 5 years. She reported herself 5 years younger than she actually was. So like nobody really know how old Mary was. Her father was a Scottish soldier stationed in Jamaica. When she was about 12 years old, she was helping her mother run a boarding house in Kingston, Jamaica. In this boarding house, she was basically helping her mother take care of injured soldiers and guests. Mary loved to travel. At the time, it wasn't very common for women to travel a lot. But as for Mary, she sure did it. She was a teenager when she first took 2 trips to England, where she spent 3 years in total. She was quite the businesswoman. And she journeyed to the islands of Bahamas, Haiti, and other places. She brought spices, pickles, and jams all back to sell in Jamaica. In 1836, she married an Englishman called Edwin Seacole that was stationed in her hometown in Jamaica. Edwin was a very sick man and died just a few years after their marriage in 1844. Following her husband's death, what Mary did was to focus on caring for the sick people. Around 1850, she used her medical skills that she learned from her mom when many people in Kingston, Jamaica were sick with the deadly cholera at that time. And in 1853, Mary went to the city of Cruces in Panama, where her brother ran a hotel and a store. Mary opened a store selling food and goods to gold miners and continued her work in medicine, treating people suffering from cholera and tropical diseases such as yellow fever. She returned to Kingston in 1853, but she did not stay long because when she heard about the British soldiers going off to Russia to fight in the bloody battles of the Crimean War, she wanted to help. So off she went to the War Office in London, where she applied to be a nurse in order for her to help with the wounded soldiers. But unfortunately, Mary was turned down. History said that race may have played a factor in her failure to secure a nursing position in Crimea, but it is not certain. But we all know the truth. Back then, it wasn't easy for black people, not to talk of a black woman. But anyway, there were other factors that also affected her. The fact that Mary never actually formally applied for the job, and she had no hospital experience, and she was way older than the age that they were looking for. Talk of things that are against you as a woman, okay? But that was not enough to stop Mary. She was very, very determined. No, 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 Mary did not take that. So, together with her friend Thomas Day, who was also her in-law, in 1855, Mary boarded a ship full of medications, full of medicinal things to Crimea. She arrived in a terrible state. Many of the soldiers were cold, dirty, and hungry, and those that were sick and wounded weren't being cared for. Mary decided something had to be done, and so, with her loyal friend Thomas, she opened a British hotel near the battlefields. And to be clear, this hotel wasn't like the kind of modern hotel that we have right now that you would expect to stay in. It was actually like a hut, right? It was basically a hut made of metal sheets where soldiers can rest and buy hot food and drink and equipment. But you know what else Mary did? She went a step further and did something incredibly brave. Mary rode on horseback into the battlefields even when under fire to nurse the wounded men from both sides of the war. Mary was so caring. In fact, she was well known among the soldiers, that she was called Mother Seacole. Now, let's talk about life after the war. After the Crimean War ended, Mary returned to London with very little money and in poor health. But her hard work didn't go unrecognized. It did not go unnoticed. Many of the soldiers wrote into the newspapers about all that she had done during the war, and 80,000 people attended a charity gala in 1857 to raise money for her. In the last 20 years of her life, Mary led a very quiet life, spending her time in London and Jamaica. Okay, she was traveling between London and Jamaica, where she went to escape cold winter. So during cold season, she would go to Jamaica to escape cold winters. Mary Seacole died on May 14, 1881. She was 76 years old when she died. Some reports said that she died of a stroke. At the time of her death, she left much of her money to her sister that lived in Jamaica. She also received a number of medals for her bravery from governments in different countries. As a mixed-race woman living in the 19th century, what Mary Seacole achieved in her lifetime was truly incredible. It was truly remarkable. She broke social rules and prejudice to travel the world, to run business and help those in need, even in the most dangerous places. That was the life of Mary Seacole. What did you learn about Mary Seacole today? What inspired you about her story? For me, the fact that not only did she help the soldiers, but she actually went in, rode on a horse, went into the battlefield to help them was truly amazing. I hope that we learned something from Mary's story today, and there is something that has inspired you today to give more than what you're actually giving today. Give more in your neighborhood, give more in your community, give more in your career, give more in nursing. Go and be great. Let Mary's story inspire you today. Until my next video, I love you with the love of God. Bye.